Namaste everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is for Taurus individuals. So as to how Rahu Ketu's transit in the sign of Leo and Aquarius is going to affect the Taurus individuals. Okay, so let's get started. But before that, if you guys would like to take your personal readings, you can check out the link below in the description box www.anmollastrology.com. Under the readings and unique reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. Also, there are online courses available. First one is the Vedic Astrology Foundational course, where you are going to learn about Vedic astrology from the A to Z. And then there is a Prashna seminar, which basically is going to cover how can you make predictions through Prashna. Okay. And also, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get regular updates. Okay. So I'm going to attach the links for the Rahu's video in the Aquarius sign, Ketu's video in the sign of Leo, and then also the Muhurat chart video. Okay, so you can go and watch that so as to understand the theme of this particular transits and then come back and know about your particular zodiac sign. So if you are a Taurus moon or a Taurus ascendant, this video is going to be for you. But let me remind you guys, whenever we need to see the transit of Rahu and Ketu, we refer to the moon chart or the Chandra chart first. We refer to the moon sign first, and then we go ahead and talk, see the ascendant zodiac sign. So in a way, both of them works and they equally are important. But when it is the case of Rahu and Ketu, you need to give the priority to the Chandra chart. Okay, so let's get started. Now, for Taurus ascendant or moon sign, Rahu is going to come into their 10th house, whereas Ketu is going to come into their 4th house in the sign of Leo. So I always say, whenever we need to understand the concept of Rahu and Ketu, just understand this is the loop that you are going to revolve into. This is a karmic loop which you cannot exist unless you pay off your karmas. So Rahu and Ketu, they are the two entities which are directly opposite to each other. So those two houses are going to play a significant role in your life. And about the placement of Rahu and Ketu in your natal chart, wherever these two planets are, those are the two houses where you will feel the karmic back and forthness and karmic loop that you're going to experience. When it comes in transit, that means those are the areas that are going to be significantly activated and that would require your concern for those 18 months. Rahu brings in transformation and growth by making you pay off your karma by creating obstacles. Ketu basically gives you spiritual growth and teaches you wisdom related to the practical side of life and related to the deep hidden roots. So wherever Ketu comes, you have to deal with something which is transformative, which is hidden, which is deep down there in that house. And wherever Rahu goes, you have to show off that house. You have to bring that house into life. You have to be obsessed towards that house so that you can achieve the characteristics or the agendas of that house. So for you, the axis is the 4th house and the 10th house. So for these 18 months, all your focus has to be between your home life and your public life, between your home, between your career. It is all about transformations that you are going to feel in respect of your career in respect of your home life, and also in respect of your decisions and viewpoint towards the home, towards the comforts, towards your happiness, and also towards your career and your career choices. I have seen whenever Rahu Ketu transit from the fifth, fourth, and third house, these particular approximately 4.5 years are important and significant for an individual's career, because specifically having Rahu in the 10th house and Ketu in the in the fourth house, a person tends to go deep into research, and then they bring out that research and they use that as a part of their career. So Rahu definitely being in the 10th house is going to make you involved in your career and in the society. It has to get you out of your shell, out of your cocoon, and make you interact with a lot of people. You can interact with a lot of people by the way of your career. You can interact with a lot of people by the way of even going at social events or being very actively participating into the society. And then this Ketu, when you are interacting so much out there in your career, in your, with the society, you will get that dissatisfaction. You will start feeling that, oh, I need a break. I need to go and seek the guidance towards my home space, towards the people I love, towards the people I feel comfortable with, towards your mother. So you go towards your mother, you go towards your isolation and your personal space. Then you get dissatisfied from that particular house, from being in a comfort zone, from being in the home all the time, from being isolated, and then you go out, you become an extrovert individual. So this is basically a loop that makes you introvert and extrovert, then introvert, then extrovert. This is the loop you're going to experience. So this particular transit is going to give you many more results also. Let's just dive into the charts so that, oh, this is something else. Okay, so I think, yeah, the Capricorn video came up as, just one second. I was trying to share the whiteboard, but I'm not able to get it for some reason. Let me see. Yeah. So I have to check the audio again and again, because in last video of Gemini, basically the audio went out while I started talking about Saturn, then Rahu and Ketu. It was, I think, I still now, I just cannot understand why the audio went out. I checked everything, I checked my movements, that I didn't, I was wearing AirPods, so they cannot go off, in the middle of the conversation, or the battery was full, the battery was all right. I don't know why it happened. So there must have been some omen. There must have been something that I said there which shouldn't be out there. So, yeah. I think, since I've started working since a long time now in astrology, I've started feeling that planets are trying to connect with me. I get flashbacks while I'm talking or predicting. I get those omens, I get those intuitions, although I was never a person who used to interest me, trust her intuitions. But now I get very strong messages at the time I'm doing the predictions. So yeah, I think that's the magic of planets. Once you start predicting so much, start interacting with planets all the time, they start communicating with you, right? So let me know if you guys are also feeling that way, if you have been learning astrology since a long time, and if you're experiencing the same, because Tauruses are very practical individuals, and if they feel that something is there, something universal, something extraordinary is there, then it is definitely there. Let's get started. So let me just check my board. Yeah. So we have Ketu in the fourth house, and we have Rahu opposite to it in the 11th house. I'm also going to mention the position of Saturn. Now, trust me, this is a good transit that you can ask for. Of course, when Ketu and Rahu come into the fourth and 10th axis, they change you significantly. They change your foundation because this axis is the axis of your foundation. But trust me, Ketu is a planet who can give you unasked success. It can give you fulfillment of your desires without even asking for it. And Rahu, on the other hand, being in a Trik house, being in a Upacha house, it basically makes you grow. So, first, let's talk about Ketu in the fourth house. So, fourth house is the house of your mother, it is the house of your happiness, it is the house of your comfort, it is also the house of your luxury, because comforts can be provided through luxury. It is the house of your early education. While I'm talking about early education, for the mothers or the fathers who are watching this video for their kids, they can experience their children going into their own zone, into their isolation at the other end in their school. Maybe they are being associated with the some bad influences for some reason, and because of that, they have started isolating themselves at the home, right? So this could also be there. So I think this is the transformation they are meant to go through so as to understand what is the importance of having a good public image. So I won't advise any parent to try to control their children, but this is a time when you need to let them understand their psychology, because Ketu coming into the fourth house will make them research, will make them acknowledge their emotions, their vulnerability, their emotional reactions. Okay, so fourth house is the house of like for pregnant women. This is actually it is their womb. So whenever it gets activated by any planet, by out of the four major planets, it gets activated by any planet, it can create the pregnancy scenario. Okay, so next thing, fourth house is about cars, vehicles, conveniences. It is the house of your peace of mind. It is the house of the environment of your home. So whenever you see, this is also the house of your childhood and your childhood traumas. Ketu coming into the fourth house, first of all, detaches you from your mother or brings in some up and down in the relationship with your mother. This can give health complications and problems to your mother also. This also means that this is the time for you to heal yourself, heal your childhood traumas, heal your inner child. And at the same time, this is also a time for you to actually be hidden with your emotions. Be restrictive and overly analytical with your emotions. And out there, you are going to present an image which like behaving in such a way that in the home, you are seeing all those fights happening, all those problems happening. But the moment you get out of the room, the moment you get out of the house, you're smiling. You're showing and portraying a very different image. That is what it is showing. Or this could also show that internally you are going through waves of emotions, you're going through you're going through self-doubt, and you're going through um this thing low on self-confidence. But out there, when you come to when you go to your career space, you go to your workspace, you are like, I am all right. I know it all. Something like this, right? So this basically shows that this is the time for you to develop an understanding, acknowledge everything which is related to the fourth house, experience problems with it, experience instability, experience fear of instability, fear of confidence, fear of respect, and then work upon getting all of it through the 10th house and through Rahu being in the 10th house. This also gives you a rebel nature against the anyone who puts their authority over you. So it can be your boss, it can be your father, it can be anyone who tries to be authoritative. When Rahu comes into the 10th house, it is actually difficult to be with these people because they always want an order into everything. They always want perfection in work, they want perfection in everything. So when Rahu is coming into your 10th house, you would also be given the higher responsibility, either in your work or in your household. You will be the one who has to be responsible, who has to be recognized for their skills and for their career and for their actions as well. So being very considerate and cautious about your actions and how they are going to impact your image in the public, that matters a lot. Rahu in the 10th house, when transiting, can also give you complications with government things, government legalities. So that is also something you need to be careful of, you need to take care of. Whenever there is any transit happening in the 10th house, I always tell people to be organized with their documents, especially legal documents, because anytime you can be required to present them, and for example, this could even be the ascendant of an individual who has filed for PR or who is filing for PR or some sort of visa. So that is why you would have to have your clear documents, everything ready whenever somebody, whenever the officials ask you for that. That is the condition what happens. Ketu in the fourth house can also give you the promise of a home or a vehicle. It can make you buy a vehicle, but be careful. See all the things that, see the where your sun is, see what is the placement in the fourth house, and then accordingly buy your vehicles. Okay. And this could even give you the opportunity to purchase a land. But this significantly shows me that there can be a division within your home. If you are a person who is in the joint family or who is expecting some inheritance issues to arise, this can arise. There can be a division of home, there can be division of happiness, there can be division within the assets of the family as well. Okay. So that is what this Ketu shows. But this Ketu is a very, very intuitive transit. This Ketu will bring in a lot of intuition within you. It is going to make you research, go deep into mythological knowledge, into research related knowledge, and bring out what is the truth. That is what Leo is about. What is the pattern? What is the themes of things? So this will make you learn about mythology. This will make you learn about astrology, right? This will also make you learn about people's psychology and how to have success in your career and things like that. Okay, so this transit is here so as to develop the foundation of your life, the foundation of your heart. When Rahu is in the 10th house, this is the house of your social responsibility. Oh, how did I write social? I don't know. Social responsibility. This is also the house of your career, Anyone who is at authority, or in fact, it is the house of your authority. This is the house of your mother-in-law. Your mother-in-law can experience some problems with their health. See, when Rahu comes in any particular house, it creates those, problem-like situation, those fear-like situation. Maybe they're just getting fearful of their health and they are feeling that, yes, I think I have some problem, although the reports might not show anything, right? So Rahu in the 10th house makes you obsess over your career, be very organized with your career. And I told you it takes you in a loop, right? Whenever Rahu is in the 10th house, I always suggest people to be very careful with their public image and also to fulfill their social responsibility. Not just responsibility towards the society, but also the responsibility towards everyone, like your father, your mother, your father-in-law, your mother-in-law, if you're married, your children, your partner, everyone. You need to be highly responsible and without even expecting anything in return, because Rahu is there. Rahu is going to create that illusion there, right? The illusion can work for the benefit of you. It can work otherwise also. As in, for your benefit, it can work that you may have to do just little bit amount of action and it is going to be presented, or maybe time is on your side and it is going to be presented like a huge one. Or it could work the other way around, that you are working so much, you're giving all the efforts, you're fulfilling all the responsibilities, but again, you're still being criticized, you're still being not appreciated, right? So it can work either way around. You need to see how your Saturn is placed. But when it is about career, this time calls for work. You will be involved into work and you will be recognized for your hard work. The only condition is that you will have to do the hard work. Only then you will get the recognition of the lifetime during this time, because the 10th Lord is naturally going in the transit in the 11th house, in the house of recognition. Okay, so now let's talk about the aspects. So with Ketu being in the 4th house in Leo, the fifth aspect is going to be in the 8th house, and the ninth aspect is going to be in the 12th house. So all the moksha houses gets activated. Again, as I said, Ketu being in the 4th house, this is going to Ketu's fifth aspect on your 8th house is going to make you go into research. It is going to make you detached from your in-laws, or this is the time when you will have to experience sudden changes in your life. And your it would require a lot of courage and a lot of determination for you to evolve through that sudden change. There could be a division within your in-laws, like maybe you're in a joint family and you're dividing, or it could mean you're moving away from your home. You might be shifting. There can be a since the sign of Sagittarius is going to be highly activated because of Jupiter, because of Saturn, and also because of fifth aspect of Ketu. You may travel away from your family, either by marriage, or you may travel by like shifting your residence, you know, separately. That is also there. Then Ketu's fifth aspect in the 8th house shows that you may get sudden positive things also, because in the 8th house there is the sign of Sagittarius, which is naturally about your fortune. So being in the 8th house means sudden fortune coming in, and it also means a sudden fight coming in, because Sagittarius is where the planning or the strategies of the fight starts, of the Mahabharat starts. So this timeline is a bit difficult when it is about your family life. There are some things, some rooted problems that you have to deal with the family ties, with the family matters. But on the professional end, on the skillful end, on your knowledge end, it's a beautiful transit to have. Okay, so this is there. Now the ninth aspect on the 12th house. When there is ninth aspect on the 12th house, this means the fortune comes from foreign lands. Rather, you are going to be very actively participating towards your passions. 12th house is also the house of your inbuilt talents, your hobbies, your things you're passionate about. Suppose you love dancing, you love meditating, you love doing yoga, you love going to the gym, you love painting. So the 12th house is what is going to tell what do you love to do in your personal time. So when Ketu's ninth aspect is there, that means that you're going to learn about your hobbies. You're going to learn about your skills, about what you like, what you do not like, and you will follow your passion. You will do something related to your passion. You will definitely be involved into research, learning about what you're passionate about, what your hobby is, and then you're going to take that forward and learn more about it, do deep research about it, and take it out there as a part of your career. That's why now we have Rahu in the 10th house. But before that, 12th house is also the house of hospitals. And this could even be the time when you have to visit hospitals. Like I told you guys, that some of the women with Ketu in the fourth house are also going to experience pregnancy. So, having the ninth aspect on the 12th house could mean that you're visiting hospitals because you have to deliver a child. Or you can be the husband of a pregnant woman. You will have to, go to the hospital to see that delivery and to see whole of the process. Like I remember when I was pregnant, there was so many appointments that I had, so many ultrasounds. Oh my God, there was such, it was quite beautiful. At the same time, it was overwhelming. So yeah, so that could even be there. Okay. So now Rahu in the 10th house, and its aspect will be the fifth aspect will be on the second house, and the ninth aspect is on the sixth house. First of all, having the fifth aspect on the second house, these people would search for different investment options and saving plans. You will market your work. And you know what? Fifth aspect of any planet will give the karma of past life good deeds. This means that you are going to learn something extraordinary, foreign, advanced when it comes to the financial matters, when it comes to the savings, when it comes to how to manage your wealth. But this would at the same time give you expenditure. Whenever Rahu gets associated with the second lord, the second house in any way, by conjunction with the lord, by sitting in the second house, by aspecting the second house, trust me, you are a person who's going to exhaust your savings. Either you can exhaust your saving by being like being a spendthrift, or you can exhaust it by investing that into something solid, like a fixed asset. So, but the fifth aspect of Rahu simply says that you start developing a very carefulness and very interest into managing the wealth, managing your wealth, managing the wealth of your family and assets of your family. This also means that there could be some obsession towards the family members, some obsession towards fulfilling your responsibilities towards the family. There could be disturbances within your family. There could be disturbances in your health. And one thing, let me tell you, whenever Rahu comes into the first house, and especially in the 10th house, especially, then you would experience very low on your energy. Because 10th house is the house where Mars gets exalted and Sun has its directional strength. This is the house which rules your energy in the daytime. So you would see when Rahu is coming into the 10th house, you would see that I am not feeling energetic in the daytime. I'm feeling so lazy. My body is not working, and I have to take a significant effort to, get up in the daytime. And as soon as the sun is going down, your energy is rising. So it goes opposite. So that is one of the things that can help you with your career. Go into research, learn knowledge, get yourself into knowledge at the night time, and try to avoid getting out in the daytime. Also, this is one of the remedies. Okay. So, the fifth aspect on the second house also makes you learn a lot about the financial things. You're not just going to be interested into investing and managing the finances, but also to learn about how one should do that. The ninth aspect in the sixth house, again, you want to have a very eccentric approach towards the debts. This is the time when you would either want to pay off all your debts if you have any, or it shows that you are going to activate the debts. You are going to take on the debts for some reason. Maybe you have to purchase a home, which I told you. Maybe you want to purchase a car. You're going to get a loan for it. That is what the ninth aspect of Rahu shows there. It also shows you filing for visas, you getting a little bit of obstacles into that, or the process is getting, I would say with Rahu, it gets delayed, but rather I would say there is a bit of obstacles that a person has to go through when it comes to this particular timeline, this particular aspect. The ninth aspect of Rahu also makes you rebel, but at the same time, since the ninth aspect is on the sign of Libra, you would want to rebel to balance something else. You would have a very strict approach within your home environment, even if it is about your relatives, even if it is about your home environment. Because of Ketu, things may feel that at home everyone is at war. I have to, peace out everything. This is something which happens with Ketu transiting in the fourth house, or Ketu being in your D1 in the fourth house, that basically you have to peace out everyone. You have to get in and peace out the war. This is a similar situation with Rahu's ninth aspect on the sixth house. You will have to, take on a very eccentric and unorthodox road to either balance your finances, balance the situation within your workplace, or balance the situation within your relatives. Okay, so that's what it shows. But definitely with Rahu in the 10th house, you will create secret enemies, or people can be a little jealous of you when it comes to your career or your social presence. Okay, so now let's quickly dive into the planets. So now, first, let's talk about Sun. So suppose Sun is in your fourth house. That means it is the Lord of the fourth house. Then Ketu is coming over it. This means that you are going to have a transformative time when it is about your personality, when it is about your interaction within the home. You must have been a very dominating individual and a very controlling one too. But this domination, this control comes in because you feel responsible for the things that happen within the home. You are a totally, purely dependable person. Everyone and anyone can depend on you. You are that kind of, and especially when it comes to the family. When Ketu is coming over it, you are going to get such a situation in your family or in your sorry, why did I say marriage? But in your home life, that you will have to bow down your ego. You will feel as if there was a knife, there was a, you know, sharp knife, and someone just got it on your heart, through your heart just pierced, right? So this will actually transform your ego, your personality, the way your outlook is with your emotions, the way you interact with people. And if you want to see what is going to be the result of this transformation, look for your sun placement in your D9 chart. That is going to tell you what is this transformation holding, what you're going to transform into when it comes to your pride, your um your self-esteem, your image, your personality. Okay. And when sun is opposite, Rahu comes over it, this first of all can affect the health of your mother and your father both, because the sun is the ruler of the fourth house, and second house is the longevity. I won't say specifically longevity, but it is one of the significant house of health of your father. Okay, so this is also the house where suns, Rahu coming over sun, this can affect your image out there in the public. This is a Grahan Yog. Basically, Rahu is creating that Grahan on the sun. So your actions, or you are going to do something, you're going to react upon something, and that is going to come out suddenly, explosively, because of which your image in the public, your image in the career can get affected. So be grounded, be careful with how your ego is coming out, how your pride is coming out. But at the same time, you can be given the higher authority. This coming of the higher authority would come with a major event, with a transformative event, but this can work good for your fame. Now, I'm not going to say that it is a positive fame or it's a negative fame. You will have to see as per your Saturn placement. But this is a typical, or this is a complicated transit to have simply, because Rahu is actually uh, afflicting the sun here. So it will give you overblown ego, overblown pride. So only if you stay grounded, if you hold yourself, if you be patient at the time of reaction, you may get the good fruits of this transit. Trust me. Okay? Because Rahu is also the Bhoga Karka, right? When it gets conjunct with Sun, and you will see a lot of charts of the celebrities who have their Sun and Rahu conjunction. All you need to do is you need to keep your ego and pride in check. Okay, but this again, still, again, I would say take good care of the health of your parents, of your folks, and of the parents of your spouse as well. Now, next we have Moon. So, if suppose Moon is in the fourth house, that is the Lord of the third house, coming to the fourth house, and then Ketu comes over it. This is a time of major, major transformation for you when it comes to your emotional stability. You are a person who is very particular with their emotions and with with the people they love. When you love truly. You're willing to do anything and everything for the people you love, and you have massive reactions and massive gestures at the same time. So having Ketu in the fourth house can be a complicated situation for your close relationships. Ketu being in the fourth house over your moon will make you dive into research and also make you quite assumptuous with your mind, emotions, and your opinions. Because of that, you will have distance with your siblings and with your mother also. All you need to do is you need to calm your mind, because this is the matter of the mind. This Ketu is basically afflicting, it is creating that Chandra Grahan. It is basically making you go into deep research, deep emotions, because of which the assumptuousness comes in. It is going to detach you from your emotional self, but it will happen during the very last time, or when it comes very close to your moon. But all the other timeline, other degrees, it is basically going to first attach you a lot with the emotional thing. It will bring in an emotionally intense situation, and then it will make you cold and distant with those emotions. Again, wherever there is moon and sun which are afflicted, then the health of the mother and father gets affected. But here it is your mother whose health can be highly affected. So, and that is also because of the situations of the home. That is because of the because of it could be something happening within the home, within the family. This is a time of major emotional transformation for you. You are going to change the way you connect with people, the way you love, the way you emotionally connect with people after this transit goes. Okay. And at the same time, when moon is in the 10,000, Rahu comes over it. First of all, it will bring in a major up and down within your career. This is the Lord of the third house. This means that now this sudden change in your career is coming because the universe wants you to follow something you feel gives you peace, you feel gives you happiness. You're meant for something way ahead of what you think you are capable of. My daughter is shouting, Mama, Mama. See, moon, Rahu moon, obsessing over the mother. Are you? Wait. So, Rahu coming over moon. So, it's like your emotions are going to be all over the place. See, normally, Aquarius individuals do not they're not that introvert individuals. They do not have that courage of confrontation. But when Rahu comes over this moon, they are going to develop that their confrontation or their feelings are just going to blast out, and then they would also act shady because of it. But when it is about your career, basically this time is there to make you acknowledge that your emotions and your peace of mind is important than anything else. So you will act a little selfish, or I would say more self-centered, and also, this would make you grow emotionally. This would change the way you connect emotionally with others. Also, it would bring in a significant change in your career, but so that you can follow your skills, you can enhance your skills, and you can work around with your skills. Okay, so next we have Jupiter. So if Jupiter is in the fourth, I have to check, the audio again and again. So when Jupiter is in the fourth house, it is the lord of your eighth and the 11th house. This can give you sudden events within your home, sudden gain of inheritance, sudden gain through your elder sibling or through your in-laws as well. But this situation comes with obstacle or a massive transformation. Ketu coming over Jupiter means there has to be a transformative event which is going to change you completely emotionally. The way you interact with your heart. This is going to change the dynamic of your home. Ketu coming over Jupiter also will give this pressure to your mother. Your mother has to sacrifice something, or you have to sacrifice something out of emotions for either your elder sibling or your in-laws or your mother, in fact. Okay? It's like a opportunity where you'll have to show, and you definitely will feel that this is my time to show the huge heart that I have. But at the same time, this is the time when you are going to see the real faces of people. And those people are not going to be just your friend circle. They definitely are going to be the friend circle, but not just that, but also your very close relationships, your relatives, the people you connect with on the daily basis. So this Ketu coming over Jupiter is going to change your perspective, is going to change your wisdom, and will give you wisdom, practical wisdom instead. Now, on the other hand, if this goes on the opposite side, if there is Jupiter being the lord of the 8th house and the 11th house coming into the 10th house, and then Rahu is coming over it, there is a sudden change, sudden transformation that happens within your career. And out of that sudden transformation, you're going to gain, you're going to get recognized. But definitely, this can be a downfall, sudden downfall. This can be a sudden event, sudden transformative event. But the result could be positive. It definitely could be positive because it's like you're winning out of a loss situation. Okay? So that is what happens here. With Rahu coming over Jupiter, it can give you massive opportunities. It can give you the opportunities where you can become the person to make people learn about a very advanced skill, advanced scientific technology, something unusual. You're going to teach something, you're going to be a eccentric, a advanced guru, unorthodox guru. You're going to take a step, an action, which would feel that you are breaking the boundaries of the society for this. Okay. Now, next we have Venus. So, if you have Venus in your 4th house, in the sign of Leo, Venus is the lord of your 1st house and it is the lord of your 6th house. Ketu coming over it is going to take you away from your comfort zone. It is going to take you away from your comfort zone, not in a way that you will be deprived of money, but in a way that you would experience heartbreak. This heartbreak, whenever I talk about heartbreak, it doesn't necessarily has to do with love relationship. It has to do with love relationship, but apart from this, it can be a heartbreak because you lost someone. It can be heartbreak because you lost a job, because you just have that feeling of like your heart breaking into pieces. This is the time which is going to teach you what true love is. It will give you the flashbacks of your love or your relationship with others or with the love partner. It can even bring in a past lover into your life. Or it's just you are constantly thinking about that past lover, or you are basically comparing your present partner with that past person. This Venus in the 4th house, being a Taurus ascendant, it's a beautiful placement for a home life, and for having a very fun home. But on the other hand, it also gives a very, very soft, sensitive, but controlling mother. This could even detach you from your mother. Ketu coming over Venus, being the 6th lord and the 1st lord, there can be obstacles coming towards your mother or towards your home. So things that are happening, that are going to happen within your home, are going to change the complete dynamic of your life, of the way you love, the way you think of relationships, the way you interact within relationships. This is going to dive you deeper into research, meditation, healing. This is the time for you to heal your child, the inner child of yours. This is the time for you to heal from past relationships or childhood traumas. Okay, then if Venus is in the 10th house, being the first and the sixth lord, Rahu is over it. It's actually good position for your career. It also means that you may get a little bit of complications with females at your workplace. They can, bitch about you behind your back, or they can try to harm your image within the workspace. So there's a tug of war you're going to experience with them. There's a competition you're going to experience with them. And all of this is going to happen in a very secretive and hidden manner. If Sun is also involved into this, definitely you're going to be a subject of hidden politics at your workspace, in the society. But this could be an extremely good transit for you when it comes to your relationships, like you making relationships in the society. You being manipulative, diplomatic, you breaking deals, breaking contracts, and creatively expressing your abilities. Having Rahu over Venus, of course, gives you, it can even give you a affair in your workspace with an authoritative person, and could even be your boss. Not for everyone, not for everyone. This basically makes you a person who has been very introvert when it has been about relationships, when it has been about confronting yourself in relationships, about your love matters. Now you would suddenly find that urge that I am going to have what I want in a relationship. I want to have that relationship. I want to act upon having that relationship. I want to express, I want to confront, I want to experience that high libido and that, sexual side of love and relationship. That is what you will feel. That is the transformation you're going to feel. One thing, do not indulge into substances, do not indulge into alcohol, or else it is going to take you down. It is going to make you addicted. Also, if you are going through Rahu Venus at the same time. Okay, now next we have Mars. So if you have Mars in the fourth house and Ketu coming over it, trust me, if you are in an Indian household, you're going to get the division of your assets within the family. There is fight, there is kalesh going to be in your home, in your household. Either with your family regarding the assets and comforts, or with your spouse, because this is the seventh lord, the seventh and the 12th lord. So losses and the seventh, the partner and the losses are together coming into the fourth house. So it's a very, very complicated situation. Like, it could even affect the health of your mother, your father-in-law, and your spouse. Be aware or be careful with driving also at the same time. Okay. And if you are a female, no, let's not talk about it. No, I don't think so. So, Ketu coming over Mars in the fourth house basically makes, basically it's Mars, right? Ketu is a knife, it cuts your energy. so as to divide it among different matters. So when Ketu is coming over your Mars, you can overly exhaust yourself. Why most of the army personals or the most of the fighters have this Mars and Ketu conjunction? Because they need to have a lot of energy. They need to have divided energy into different scenarios. So when Ketu is coming over Mars, you become aggressive. You become aggressive with your emotions, with your heart space. You become clueless about where you want to put your energy because it is too much energy for you. So I would suggest you to go into gymming, go into something of that sort so as to exhaust that energy out of the home. Try to be away from the home as much as possible. Like get yourself signed up for maybe yoga, meditation, or maybe gym. The more you are out there, the more you're interacting with people, the more peaceful your home environment is going to be. Now, if Mars is in the 10th house and Rahu comes over it, Mars becomes your 7th lord and your 12th lord. There could be gains from overseas. There could be opportunities of partnership from the overseas and even marriage. This would create a possibility for you to either take on responsibility within your career about managing everything, or it would create a possibility for you to actually take a higher responsibility. But this can be good for your opportunities. You are going to get obstacles, you are going to get problems within the career, but at the same time, you would want to thrive for a better status, for something which is unusual. You would want to do something like that. You want to have a very futuristic approach towards your career. This could even give you some complications with your managers. If you are into a job scenario and you have a manager, it can give you complications with that. Or it could even mean that you will have to take the position of your manager. Okay, so now next, if we have Mercury. If Mercury is in the 4th house, it is the lord of the 2nd and the 5th. This is actually a Dhan Yoga happening with Ketu coming over it. You may get the opportunity to learn about mythology, learn about different languages, learn about language of a place that you might have traveled to, and that's their native language. This is the time for you to dive into deep research about financials, investments, how to say, investments and putting your money, savings management, any sort of financial things. It could even give you opportunities for work from home or making or teaching people online. It again gives complication to the complication to the health of your mother. Whenever Mercury gets in the loop of Rahu Ketu, this disturbs a person's nervous system. So they experience anxiety. I wouldn't call it as depression, but panic attacks, anxiety, because they become overly obsessed. They become impatient. Mercury being the 2nd and the 5th lord could also mean that for some time you might have to be dependent on the money from either your children, if they are capable enough to provide for you, or from the money of the money from your family, or on your savings. Okay, this Ketu can give you a kind of break within your savings. So it could even mean that either you are putting your money into investments or there is a significant expenditure you have to take on. Now, if Mercury, being the second and the fifth lord, goes into the 10th house and then Rahu comes over it, you will have to use or learn about technology, about advanced technology. You will have to communicate your way out within your career. This can even give you fame, this can give you enhancing of money, but this first calls for you learning something related to your work, or learning something which can upscale your work. This particular transit makes you lie a lot also. This basically transforms your communication, transforms your intellect, transforms the way you think. And same is with Ketu coming over Mercury. When Ketu comes over any planet, it's more spiritual and realizing in nature. With Rahu, it's more self-centered in nature, more unorthodox and eccentric in nature. Right? Now we have Saturn. So with Saturn in the fourth house, being the Lord, just a second. Yeah, being the Lord of your ninth and 10th house. First of all, this is not the best placement for your mother or your relationship with the mother. Ketu coming over it, it can affect the health of your mother or your father. It could affect your relationship with them also. But this is the time for you to give your selfless service towards them. This is not your time to be arrogant, prideful, with your emotions, not overly expecting, I would say, but this is your time to give your service. This is your time to fulfill your responsibilities. You are definitely going to get practical lessons. Learn about what this world is about. Learn about what suffering is. How to overanalyze and over criticize yourself. That is something it would create. You definitely have to see the sun, the placement of the sun. But Saturn in the sign of Leo, in the sign of sun, can be like you put a servant onto a throne. And now that servant has to take the decisions, who knows nothing about taking the decisions. Okay, if the Saturn is in the 10th house, Rahu comes over it, you are going to get endless judgments from people. And they are going to try to be very mean with their judgments. Like, for example, they are making judgments on your looks. They are making judgments um, on your work, your actions, your job. Rahu coming over Saturn basically makes people very unappreciative of your actions, unappreciative of your hard work. And that is the reason that you try to choose for smart work. You would try to go for something because you are like, that I'm not even being appreciated for my hard work. Then why shouldn't I go? Why should I go for it? Why not I choose shortcuts instead? That's what Rahu and Saturn does. They want money in a click. They want money with shortcuts, and they know how to make shortcuts. They have such an intelligent mind. But this will enhance your authority. This will make you a person who's acting quite authoritative. But it also gives you complications and problems with your bosses or with the people in authority, with your image in the society. So the more humble, the more humble you are, the more grounded you are, the more you're fulfilling your social responsibility, the more better your things are going to be there for you. Rahu can give you massive success also by coming over Saturn. Like with Saturn alone, you have to work for years to get that success or get that your desire completed. But with Rahu coming over it, you might get it in one click. Okay. And actually, rather, it's not about the kismat or the fortune. This is about them. They make it happen. The native with a Saturn Rahu conjunction, or when Rahu comes over Saturn. Okay. Now, um, it also makes you very particular with your choices. Okay. Now, next is Rahu Ketu itself. So if Rahu is in the fourth, sorry, let's go with the natal transit. So till the time I talked about Ketu coming over Sun, Rahu coming over Sun, before that, everything is a part of what you are going to experience for next 18 months. Having Ketu over your natal Ketu and Rahu over your natal Rahu, whatsoever I have explained, you are going to feel the intensity of that energy in this 18 months. You are used to that energy because that's what is happening all of your life. But for these 18 months, the intensity is going to be high. It is like it is going to multiply into 100 for those 18 months. So this is the karmic loop that you're going to be having for these 18 months. Okay. If Ketu goes into your 10th, if you have Ketu in the 10,000 Aquarius and Rahu in the 4,000 Leo, then Ketu is coming in your fourth house. It affects the health of your mother and the health of your mother, and it also affects your heart space. It also affects the way you uh, indulge yourself into comforts, the way you are obsessed with having a comfortable life, having everything in a comfortable manner. You have to go out. You have to get out of your comfort zone. This Ketu is going to take you out of your own world or your own pride. It is going to take you out of the comfort zone. It is going to make you work now. And where you had Ketu in the 10th house, you were public shy, you were shy for the society, you were very rigid with your actions, you were very rigid with your decisions. Now, this Rahu says that you'll have to be manipulative. You'll have to use manipulation within your career. You have to be there out in the career. You have to show your face out there. You have to show your skills out there. You no longer can be low on your confidence. You have to have a significant presence with your authority, with your responsibilities. Okay, so that's about it. That was a long video. So I hope this gives you good insights, and I hope today the audio is not gone anywhere. I have been checking the audio constantly. So yeah, we'll see you with the next video. Bye bye. Take care.